is up, brawlers, bladers, and fellow awesome nerds? It is I, Baku Dad, one half of the Baku Boys, and if this is your first time to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, please be sure to drop us a comment and check out our other projects in the description below, as we do try and release weekly Bakugan, Beyblade, and other awesome nerdy content every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into what I've got in store for you guys for this video. So today is Saturday, December 17th, and it is our second Magic the Gathering week in a row for the month of December. Reason being that we've had two Magic the Gathering weeks in a row is Baku Kid and I, we actually wound up acquiring a really good amount of Magic the Gathering product that he wanted us to get. And he was like, "No, Dad, let's do this because I really want to." Like, I know we had mentioned it in one of the previous videos, but yeah, Baku Kids really started to gravitate towards Magic the Gathering quite a bit, which is honestly awesome for me because it's been one of my favorite card games since it first came out. And I was only like 7 years old when it first came out back in, oh gosh, I think it was like 93, 94. Something like that, yeah. Well, yeah, it was back in 93 because this is Magic the Gathering's 30th year anniversary. But when it first came out, I just thought the game was so awesome. I know I've mentioned that before. But yeah, I think it's super cool that both Baku Kid and I really enjoy a lot about Magic the Gathering together. So that's honestly been another awesome thing for Baku Kid and I to really bond over. That, and Baku Kid, like me, has really started to love and enjoy card games. So that's been another big bonding point for him and I. But yes, today we are going to be opening the other 18 packs out of that 36-pack box that Baku Kid and I got. And honestly, because they're all from Innistrad Midnight Hunt, these other 18 should go through a lot quicker than Wednesday's video. If you stuck around for that whole video, please let me know in the comments what cards you thought were awesome out of part 1. So this is the Innistrad Midnight Hunt Draft Booster Box unboxing part 2. So we're not going to waste that much more time. We're going to jump straight to the table where we are going to finally open the other 18 packs and finish this Innistrad Midnight Hunt Draft Booster Box. I will catch you guys at the table in just a moment. Alright, and here we are. Back at the table, I did split the other 18 up into 2 stacks of 9, like I did for last time. Well, like I did for the Wednesday video. And we are going to do this in the same fashion that I did for the Wednesday video. I will have a nice organized stack. And honestly, these packs, we should be able to blow through these a lot quicker because I already know we saw a lot of the commons and uncommons. One of those, bird token, Full Art Island. Okay, Harvest Tide Infiltrator, Blast Defiance, Ritual Guardian, Startle, Stuffed Bear, nice. Timberland Guide. When it 1/1 Human Scout for a Force and 1, when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Electric Revelation, Candle Grove Witch, Bat Whisperer, Raise the Effigy, Ghoulish Procession, an enchantment for a swamp in 1. Whenever one or more non-token creature creatures die, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. This ability triggers only once each turn. Voldaren Ambusher, a 2/2 vampire archer for a mountain and 2. When Voldaren Ambusher enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, it deals X damage to up to one target creature or planeswalker, where X is the number of vampires you control. Kessig Naturalist, a 2/3 human werewolf for a forest and a mountain. Whenever Kessig Naturalist attacks, add a mountain or forest until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. And then when it transforms, it is the Lord of the Ulvenwald, a 3/3 werewolf. Other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1. Whenever it attacks, add a mountain or forest until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. That's actually really cool. And then the rare is the Falkenroth Pit Fighter, a 2/1 vampire warrior for a mountain. Oh, we have seen this one because this one's actually in my vampire deck. Okay, one of those. Wolf token, full art forest. And okay. Ecstatic Awakener. Thraben Exorcism. Consider. Howl the Hunt. Otherworldly Gaze. Arrogant Outlaw. Raise the Effigy. Locked in the Cemetery. Bat Whisperer. Turn the Earth. I know we've seen that one. Morbid Opportunist, a 1/3 human rogue for a swamp and 2. Whenever one or more other creatures die, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Vengeful Strangler. I know we've seen this one. Ooh, we got a rare land, the Overgrown Farmland. When it enters the battlefield, tap unless you control 2 or more other lands. Taps for a forest or plains, and then we get a foil Flip the Switch. An instant for an island and 2. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. Oh, yes, that is a common. And you create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. We're able to go through these packs a little bit quicker, and I like that. That, Ooze, Fuller Island. Okay. Morning Patrol, Gavany Silversmith, Soul Guide Griff, Devious Cover-Up, Candlelit Cavalry, Famished Forgers, Eaten Alive, Falconwrath Perforator, More Corrupt Behemoth, Ardent Elementalist, Fading Hope, I know we've seen that one. Purifying Dragon, a 4/3 dragon for 2 mountains and 3. Flying, when it attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature. Defending player controls, if that creature is a zombie, Purifying Dragon deals 2 damage to it instead. That's not bad. Delver of Secrets, a 1/1 human wizard for an island. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If an instant or sorcery card is revealed this way, transform Delver of Secrets, and it becomes the Insectile Aberration, a 3/2 human insect with flying. And then our rare is the Pithing Needle, an artifact for 1. As Pithing Needle enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Okay, one of those. Fuller Swamp. Okay. We get a Gale Drifter. Homestead Courage, Gavany Trapper, Larder Zombie, Harvestide Sentry, Crossroads Candle Guide, Novice Occultist. Ooh, a Burn the Accursed, Vampire Interloper, Stolen Vitality, Vampire Socialite, a 2/2 Vampire Noble for a mountain and a swamp. It has Menace. When it enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each other vampire control. As long as an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. That's not bad. Cathar's Call. An aura for a plains and 2. Enchanted creature has vigilance, and at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 white human creature token. The Village Watch. A 4/3 human for a mountain and 4. It has haste, and when it transforms, it is the Village Reavers. 5/4 werewolf. Wolves and werewolves you control have haste. That's not bad. And then our rare is the Florian Voldaren Scion, a 3/3 vampire noble for a mountain, swamp, and 1. It has first strike. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponent lost this turn. Exile one of those cards and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may play the exiled card this turn. That's actually pretty cool. And we're actually almost done with that first stack. Elemental, Full Art Mountain. Okay. Starting off with the Shady Traveler, Celestis Sanctifier, Flip the Switch, Plummet, Pax Betrayal, Festival Crasher, Siege Zombie, Moonrager Slash, a Dawnheart Rejuvenator. Ooh, Dreadbound. A 6/6 Demon Dog for 2 swamps and 4. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Whenever a creature dies or a creature card is put into a graveyard from the library, each opponent loses 1 life. I know we've seen the Storm Skrillex. Firmament Sage, a 2/3 human wizard for an island and 3. If it's neither day or night, it becomes day as Firmament Sage enters the battlefield. As it transitions, draw a card. Ooh, we get a mythic land. The Hostile Hostel. You can tap to add colorless. Tap 1 and it sacrifice a creature. Put a soul counter on Hostile Hostel. Then if there are 3 or more soul counters on it, remove those counters. Transform it, then untap it. Activate only as a sorcery, and it becomes the Creeping Inn. A 3/7 horror construct. Whenever Creeping Inn attacks, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with Creeping Inn. Then you can pay 4 and Creeping Inn phases out. Oh, wow. And then we get a foil Corpse Cobble. A instant for a swamp and an island. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice any number of creatures. Create an XX blue and black zombie creature token with menace where X is the total power of the sacrificed creatures. Oh yes, we have seen this card. I remember that one. Oh, my throat's a little dry. Let me grab my drink real quick. Okay. Much better. One of those. Human token, full art forest. Okay, starting off with a tireless hauler. Search party captain, soul guide Griff, rotten reunion, pestilent wolf, geist wave, bramble armor, Voldaran stinger, locked in the cemetery, no way out, sacred fire, an instant for a plains and mountain. Sacred Fire deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life, and it has a flashback of Plains, Mountain, and 4. Phantom Carriage, I know we've seen that one. The Mysterious Tome, an artifact for an island in 2. Tap 2, and it draw a card, transform the Mysterious Tome, and it becomes the Chilling Chronicle. Tap 1 and it, tap target non-land permanent, transform Chilling Chronicle. Oh, that's cool. And then our rare is the Slaughter Specialist, a 3/3 Vampire Warrior for a swamp in 1. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Slaughter Specialist. Okay. One of those. A beast token, full art plains. Okay, starting off with a Lunarch Veteran, Thraben Exorcism, Gavany Silversmith, Return to Nature, Unblinking Overseer, Duel for Dominance, Secrets of the Key, Eaten Alive, Neonate's Rush, Crawl from the Cellar, Loyal Griff, I know we've seen that one, Unnatural Moonrise, Thermo Alchemist, I know we've seen that one, and then our rare is Denic Pious Apprentice, a 2/3 human soldier for an island and a plains. It has lifelink. Cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities, and when it disturb cost island plains in 2. When it transforms, Denic Pious Apparition, a 3/2 legendary spirit soldier. It has flying. Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into graveyards from anywhere, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn. If Denic Pious Apparition would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. That's not bad. Okay. One of those. A full art forest. Okay. We get a Gale Drifter, Gavany Silversmith, Flare of Faith, Duel for Dominance, Unblinking Overseer, Evolving Wilds, Return to Nature, Siege Zombie, Immolation, Candlegrove Witch, Foul Play, a sorcery for a swamp in 1, destroy target creature with power 2 or less, investigate. I know we've seen Cathartic Pyre, Mysterious Tome, ooh, and we get the Shipwreck Marsh. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you can control 2 or more other lands. Taps for swamp or island. And the last pack out of the first 9. Those full art mountain. Okay, starting off with a Shady Traveler, Cathar Commando, Clarion Cathars, Harvesttide Sentry, Consider, Famished Forgers, Howl of the Hunt, Novice Occultist, Ardent Elementalist, Bat Whisperer. Ooh, another Vampire Socialite. Nice. Moonsilver Key. An artifact for 2. Pay 1, tap it, sacrifice Moonsilver Key, search your library for an artifact card with a mana ability or a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Burly Breaker, I know we've seen that one. And then our rare, Burn the House Down. Sorcery for 2 mountains and 3. Choose one. Burn down the house, deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Or create 3 1/1 Red Devil creature tokens with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. They gain haste until end of turn. Okay, and now going in to the other stack of 9. Those beast token full art planes. Okay. Starting off with a Bird Admirer, an Unruly Mob, Blessed Defiance, a Startle, Duel for Dominance, Drown Yard Amalgam, Revenge of the Drowned, No Way Out, Immolation, Candle Grove Witch. We get the alternate art for the Candle Grove Witch. I like that. Rite of Oblivion. A sorcery for a swamp and a plains. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a non-land permanent. Exile target non-land permanent. And it has a flashback of swamp, plains, and 2. Ritual of Hope. An instant for a plains and 1. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Covenant, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Diregraph Rebirth, a sorcery for a forest, swamp, and 3. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it has flashback of forest, swamp, and 5. And then our rare is the Suspicious Stowaway, a 1/1 human rogue werewolf for a island and 1. It can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. And then when it transforms, it's the Seafaring Werewolf. A 2/1 werewolf, it can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's pretty cool. Okay. Next pack in. One of these. Human. Fuller Island. Okay. Starting off with a Shady Traveler. Flare of Faith. Stuffed Bear. Bramble Armor. Geist Wave. Pestilent Wolf. Diregraph Horde. Brimstone Vandal, Eccentric Farmer. We get another Moonsilver Key. Nebelgast Intruder, I know we've seen that one. Outland Liberator. A 2/2 human werewolf for a forest and 1. You can pay 1, sack it, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment when it transforms. It's the Frenzied Trapbreaker. A 3/3 werewolf. Pay 1, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. When it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player control. So that's actually really nice. I think we might have seen that one before. Ghoulcaller's Harvest is our rare. A sorcery for a forest and a swamp. Create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decayed, where X is half the number of creature cards in your graveyard rounded up. And it has a flashback of a forest, swamp, and 3. And then we get, a foil Stolen Vitality. One of those. Day and Night token, Full Art Plains. Okay. Bait Hook Angler. Homestead Courage, Ritual Guardian,
Rotten Reunion, Secrets of the Key, Timberland Guide, Stormrider Spirit, Crawl from the Cellar, Electric Revelation, Organ Hoarder. Ooh, a Grizzly Ghoul. A 4/3 zombie bear for a forest, a swamp, and 2. It has trample, and when it enters the battlefield, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died this turn. That's pretty cool. Dryad's Revival. A sorcery for a forest and 2. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Flashback for forest and 4. Bereaved Survivor. A 2/1 human peasant for a plains and 2. When another creature you control dies, transform Bereaved Survivor. Oh yes, we have seen this one. I do remember that one. And then our rare is the Curse of Silence. An Aura Curse for a plains. Enchant player. As it enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name enchanted player casts cost 2 more to cast. Whenever enchanted player casts a spell with the chosen name, you may sacrifice Curse of Silence. If you do, draw a card. Okay. One of those. Elemental token, Full Art Island. Okay, starting off Morning Patrol. Clarion Cathar, Celesta Sanctifier, Duress, Bounding Wolf, Falcon Abomination, Path to the Festival, Olivia's Midnight Ambush, Festival Crasher, Hobbling Zombie, Sunset Revelry. I know we've seen that one. Join the Dance, a sorcery for a plains and a forest. Create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens. Flashback, plains, forest, and 3. Overwhelmed Archivist. A human wizard for 3/2 human wizard for an island and 2. Alright, so I had a little bit of a setback. I ran out of space and had to do something real quick, but we're going to run through these last few packs as quickly as possible. Already opened them up and set them over here. So we have the Overwhelmed Archivist. 3/2 human wizard for an island and 2. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. Disturb for an island and 3. Becomes the Archive Haunt. 2/1 Spirit Wizard. When it attacks, draw a card. It has flying, then discard a card. And if the video cuts out, it means I've ran out of space, and unfortunately, that will be the end of this video. But Spectral Adversary, 2/1 Spirit for an island and 1. Flash and flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay an island and 1 any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Then up to that many other target artifacts, creatures, and or enchantments phase out. Okay. Okay. A lot of the ones we've already seen. Faithful Mending, instant for an island and plains. You gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, and discard 2 cards. Flashback for island, plains, and 1. Blood Tithe Collector, 3/4 Vampire Noble for a swamp and 4. Flying when it enters the battlefield, and if an opponent lost life this turn, each opponent discards a card. Heirloom Mirror, artifact for a swamp and 1. Pay 1, tap it, pay 1 life, discard a card, draw a card, mill a card, then put a ritual counter on Heirloom Mirror. Then if it has 3 or more ritual counters on it, remove them and transform it. It becomes the Inherited Fiend, a 4/4 demon with flying. Tap a swamp and 2. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Inherited Fiend. We get Sigarda, Champion of Light. We've seen that one. And we get a foil Sunset Revelry. Go through this. Already seen all these commons so many times. Dawnheart Wardens, a 3/3 human warlock for a plains, forest, and 1. Vigilance. We have seen the Dawnheart Wardens. Gavany Dawnguard, 3/3 human soldier for 2 planes and 1, ward 1. If it's neither day or night, it starts to shift when it enters the battlefield. When it transitions, look at the top 4 cards. Oh, we've seen this one before. Deathbonnet Sprout. Lysa Forgotten Archangel, a 4/5 legendary angel for a swamp, 2 planes and 2. Flying and lifelink, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Foil Blood Pact. All the commons that we've already seen. Voldaren Stinger. We've seen the Loyal Griff. Corpse Cobble. Audric's Outrider. 2/4 Human Knight for a planes and 3. When it or another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Our rare is Curse of Leeches. A Aura Curse for a swamp and 2. Enchant player as this permanent transforms into Curse of Leeches, attach it to a player. At the beginning of an enchanted player's upkeep, they lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then when it transforms, it's a 4/4 Leech Whore with lifelink. Okay, commons. Okay, Outlaw. Necrosynthesis, an aura for a swamp and 1. Enchanted creature has whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. When enchanted creature dies, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is its power. Put one of those cards into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Scab Wrangler, 2/1 human wizard for an island and 1. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control, tap target creature. Fangblade Brigand, a 3/4 human werewolf for a mountain and 3. Pay a mountain and 1. It gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn when it transforms. It's the Fangblade Eviscerator, a 4/5 werewolf for a mountain and 1. It gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn for a mountain and 4. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. And then our rare is the Champion of the Perished, a 1/1 zombie for a swamp. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Perished. Ooh, we get a foil Brutal Cathar, a 2/2 human soldier werewolf for a planes and 2. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. And then it becomes the Moonrage Brute, a 3/3 werewolf with first strike, ward, pay 3 life. And then the last pack. Just go through the commons as quickly as possible. Okay. Broodweaver, a 2/4 spider for a forest and 3. It has reach. When it dies, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. Vivisection, a sorcery for an island and 3. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sack a creature, draw 3 cards. Hound Tamer, a 3/3 human werewolf for a forest and 2. It has trample for a forest and 3. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature when it transforms. It's the Untamed Pup, a 4/4 werewolf with trample. Other wolves and werewolves you control have trample. For a forest and 3, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And then our rare is Sereth the Viper's Fang, a 3/4 human legendary human warlock for a forest and 2. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. For 1 and untap another target creature or land you control. And with that is going to wrap it up for part 2 of the Innistrad Midnight Hunt Draft Booster Box unboxing. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, go ahead, like and subscribe if you have not already. Go ahead and drop us a comment as well, because we always love comments. Go ahead and check out our other projects that we have in the description below. But until next video, I am Baku Dad, signing out, one half of the Baku Boys. And always remember to Bakugan Brawl, let it rip, and stay awesome and nerdy. Peace out, guys.